every text fortress.
Welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Rashad Miller. That's Randy Bueller. It's Wednesday morning here in Nice, France at the World Championship, and that means it's time for Khan's Tarkir draft. Let's take a look at the table here. We first watched Patrick Chapin draft. He's our 7-0 player in this tournament, but we're going to take a look at William Jensen right now, and Randy's going to see if he can dip into the minds of this Hall of Famer, you know, with the Hall of Fame mind that he has.
So far, what he's thinking is at 4-3, I got to get a good draft here.
Oh, he really wants a good draft.
This is a big, is he going to get into contention for top 4, or is he going to kind of slip quietly into the middle of the pack?
All right, so let's start the video. There you go, nice arms there with Mr. William Jensen, and immediately a Mardu War Chief goes to the front of the pack. You think he really wants to be white?
War name in there as well. I mean, white is certainly good. Ivory Tusk is probably not good enough to justify 3 colors.
There's a Ruthless Ripper. Oh, he brings that to the front.
Could be Ruthless Ripper, could be Horde Chief. I like War Name Aspirant. 2 drops in this format are really hard to come by. I mean, that one, you kind of want to trigger the raid, so it's not a classic 2-drop, but it's pretty powerful if you can trigger it on turn 2.
So right now, is he evaluating the 3 cards at power level, or is he trying to plan ahead as
There's definitely an element of what am I passing, and you know, can he get into a color where he's not passing as much? The Horde Chief, though, is probably the pick on just raw power level, and yeah, it looks like that's where he's going.
Goes with the Horde Chief, so he starts off with a white card. Why is white's a very powerful card, a powerful color in this format?
Yeah, I mean, you can go with the White-Black Warriors deck. That's nice if you can get it. You can go with the red-white aggressive deck. You can go Abzan.
All right, so here we go, pack 2. We got some multicolor cards.
Sultai Charm, Jeskai Windscout.
Jeskai Windscout. Blue-white, is that a thing?
Not really.
Now the Flare comes to the front.
Flare. I mean, green-white's not exactly a thing either, but...
Also has an Alpine Grizzly up there. It's not really considering any other cards.
Wow. Yeah, Sultai Flare is probably...
It's probably the strongest card.
I mean, unless you count the Charm. But I mean, the Charm has mana issues, right? It wants to play you into 3 colors. These are not the most exciting packs. There does not seem to be an obvious direction here. I mean, a lot of this, I think, comes down to color preferences. Like, what colors do you want to be in? Yeah, he takes the Flare.
Goes with the Sultai Flare.
So a monocolored green card, a monocolored white card.
Green-white beatdown? Let's do it.
I mean, I saw Frank Karsten draft green-white at a Grand Prix. He had some success with it, sort of 2-1 and finished in the money, but it didn't look good.
All right, so this is pick 3 of the first pack. We see a Bitter Revelation and a Swarm of Bloodflies.
Man, where are the good cards?
I guess these packs are a little bit low on the power level. There's a Goblin Slide, isn't that that's a good one?
No, I don't care what LSV says. It's not actually a thing. I mean, the Swarm of Bloodflies, I guess, is the best card. I mean, he's sort of wound up in Abzan, you know, 1 monocolored card at a time.
He's definitely got 3 black cards to the front, so it looks like he wants
I mean, I think he's got to read that black is probably underdrafted on his right, in as so much as you can have that read with cards that aren't spectacular. So
Swarm of Bloodflies it is. It could be that, you know, the only good cards that were left in that pack were taken, because that pack was pretty mid-level as far as power level. Maybe.
Yeah, I just watched Patrick Chapin get double Mantis Riders, so this power level on this side of the table does not seem to line up. Okay, Skull Hunter is not bad.
It's up Skull Hunter. There's also a Hate Blade in there.
Yeah, I think he's Skull Hunter here.
Yeah, looks like it's the only reasonable black card in the pack. Maybe he's trying to cut black pretty hard.
Yeah, plus now he is also set up with, you can get a nice raid curve going. You know, maybe that Hate Blade will come back, or he'll get another one. He can go 1 drop into the Skull Hunter on turn 2, into the Horde Chief on turn 3.
Maybe pick up.
That's kind of the dream. Doesn't seem to work out nearly as often as you want it to, but it's a nice dream.
Yeah, maybe pick up some other warrior synergies, maybe a Rush of Battle. Or...
Yeah, normally you're in the Warriors deck because you get the uncommons, right? You get the Chief of the Edge or the Chief of the Scale. Rush of Battle is certainly a good card for that deck.
All right, so let's see what Mr. Jensen can find in this pack. Another Bitter Revelation. And not much more unless he wants to delve into another color. There's a, you know, a Glacial Stalker in blue, but...
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors deck often winds up in red, but even the red cards here aren't particularly good. I guess you Bitter Revelation.
Yeah, Bitter Revelations, you know, 2 cards, looking at 4, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this pack is really about positioning. Like, what colors, can he get a read on what colors he's going to get passed in pack 3? Can he set up the people on his left to pass him what he wants? Can he sort of You know, multi-lands are often nice to get in a scenario like this too, just to give yourself options later in the pack.
I don't think we've seen any multi-lands so far in any of these packs. Maybe someone to this immediate right is drafting a multi-land. Yeah, well, 5-color strategy.
I think I just saw Cove in this one.
So long shot squad, green card. If he wants to continue with the Absent.
Wow.
A lot of multicolor cards, not in any of his color, and then there's a green card and a Bondkin, a Kumar Bondkin. This black card is a morph. It can fit into just about any black deck, and it's also a warrior.
Yeah, probably the best pick here.
Goes with the Bondkin.
Sure. It does seem like he's making an effort to call dibs on the black cards.
Yeah, and I mean, his warrior count is up to 3. It's either 3 or 4.
His warrior count is decent. He's not passing black cards, just a rush of battle. Wow, he put Bitter Revelation straight to the front.
Well, he put the Sage High Harrier up to the front as well, and that guy is an incidental warrior as well, so maybe he's favoring warriors. He also is looking at a rush of battle.
Yeah, I was going to say the rush is a nice, if you are a warriors deck, you want to have a couple of those. That's the card that's probably the best common for taking advantage of the synergy you can get from having a deck full of warriors.
So it looks like he went with the Bitter Revelation.
Yeah, he went Bitter Revelation here.
Now, Rush of Battle, is that something that he's hoping that he can table, or has he abandoned that?
Well, that one's not coming back, but it is the kind of card you can pick up later. Like, this is, if he's the only Warriors deck, then no one else wants the card.
So DC's pet, Dazzling Ramparts.
Yeah, see, Rush of Battle would be better than any of these cards for sure.
Not a lot going on in this pack for Huey. Siegecraft, maybe he had that one up. No, he wasn't. He wasn't going to play a Siegecraft. So Dazzling Ramparts probably not going to make his main deck, but it's a nice sideboard card in case there's something he really can't deal with. Blocks pretty well.
Sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I've dazzled some Ramparts before. And you know what?
He can do it again.
I mean, really, if you look at the other cards, how many of these other cards are even contenders in his deck?
No, I mean, the Valley Dasher is playable in the right deck, but not his. He doesn't have a single red card. Wow, this pack has just been awful.
All of the good cards Patrick Chapin took in the earlier draft.
I guess so.
All right, so there's a Canyon Lurkers, and he's just going to kill the Canyon Lurkers.
You're right about the no multi-lane, so it does feel like there's probably a 5-color-ish drafter on his right.
And usually
that could also explain why the card quality is low, right? Because that guy is just like, oh, I'll take this gold card, and I'll take this one, and just whatever the best card in the pack happens to be. If you're the 5-color drafter, you get to be greedy.
Yeah, a lot of that strategy has to do with taking the best card or taking the multicolor land. And right now, there are no really powerful cards in any of the colors, so it could be safe to assume that.
I mean, somebody seems to have taken them out. It would make a lot of sense.
Maybe even 2 people. Ooh. Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Giving this trade binder a little love, or couldn't tell what that red card was, but these are just the scraps of the pack.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's take a look at the review. Wow. So we have 1 green card. It's probably not even...
There's the second one. Did you draft the second one?
Well, he has the Sultai Flare, which was an actual pick, and then he has a Tuscan Colossus, which, you know, he just grabbed late. But it looks like he has some solid black cards.
Solid? Well, I feel like that's optimistic.
Well,
this draft is in trouble. This is like... It is rare. I'm sure, you know, if Huey does 100 drafts, this is in the bottom 10% in terms of what he's got after pack 1.
He's definitely got the best cards in the packs that he's seen.
I'm not saying he drafted his seat wrong. Like, in terms of drafting the seat, he didn't pass anything. I'm not sure he could have done better than positioning himself as, I'm the black player on this side of the table, I'm the Warriors player on this side of the table. I mean, I think he drafted the seat perfectly reasonably, maybe even A- in terms of drafting the seat. I'm just saying this pile of cards is an F. Like, it's an actual, I mean, maybe you could talk me into a D, but this is not a good pile of cards for after a pack.
Well, you know, sometimes the quality of the packs just doesn't show up.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a greedy drafter on your right who takes all the good cards. I mean, it's not his fault. I just feel like the packs haven't given him much of any opportunity. So
what's Huey thinking right now? Is he thinking that he's solid black and he can go in any direction with that black? So do you think he wants to keep the white for the Horde Chief?
I think the Warriors deck is his best case scenario here.
All right, so here we go. Pack 2, and Saddlebrute goes to the front.
Yeah.
It's a Warrior, it's a great 4-drop. It's just a solid card.
Oh, there's a suspension field in there too?
Yeah, I did see a suspension field. It's not considering that. Is he abandoning white?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that he's clearly black. I think you take Saddlebrute. Yeah, sure.
And Is this strictly a creature quality over removal thing because there's a lot more removal than there are quality creatures in the colors?
I mean, it could also be that like when your card quality is below theirs, you want to win the game quickly. Like he's kind of incented based on sort of, he's not set up to play a long game and he's not set up to win an attrition battle in the late game. He's set up to sort of have a good solid curve and try to get the wins that he can by attacking his opponent really quickly.
All right,
so I mean, I think he's black-white. I just think he'd rather have an awesome 4 or 5 creature than a very good removal spell.
All right, now this is going to give us our first sign as to if he has positioned himself to get some good cards. There's a Mardu Charm, there was a Death Frenzy, there's a Kill Shot, there's another Bitter Revelation, and there's a Throttle.
Interesting. Mardu Charm, I don't know if he's got.
Is that a
Hordeling Outburst too?
I did not see
not that he can.
There is a Hordeling Outburst.
He's not going to go into red for double. It's Throttle or Mardu Charm, and I think Throttle is probably good enough that he's not going to add red for Mardu Charm, especially given how few multi-lands he's been getting. So I mean, he has actual 0 in his pile right now. So
just stick with the black cards right now and go with that.
Throttle here.
Looks like he wants to Throttle.
Yeah.
I think right now he's just seeing what could come back. Maybe that Kill Shot can come back and he decides to go white.
It's not great in an aggro deck though. Like Kill Shot is much better if you're planning to be on defense and have them attack into you.
Yeah.
It's not good when you're on the front foot.
This is pick 3. Whoa, multi-land goes to the front and a cancel.
A Mantis Rider.
It's weird. All right, there we go. Feet of Resistance.
Feet of Resistance is a nice solid trick.
And a Sultai Scavenger. Nice flyer. Going to the air in this format's pretty good.
Yeah, and he has no delve cards. I mean, the first Scavenger's kind of free. Like you're going to get a nice mana discount on it. Feet of Resistance though is quite a nice trick if he's able to sort of attack into slightly bigger creatures, but he's got the feet.
So it does look like he has a plan here. He wants to be aggressive.
He's building a black-white aggro deck. Doesn't have any particular warrior synergy, but I mean, there's still time.
Right.
He could hypothetically get past a late chief at this stage. He could pick up Russia Battle.
I think you could always, there's always time to get a Russia Battle or two.
Yeah. But yeah, black-white aggro. I mean, like I said, I think he's drafting the seed about as well as he can.
Right, another Sultai Scavenger, a Kill Shot, a couple of there's an Abomination and a Soothsayer.
Yeah.
A couple of Sultais. The Sultai seems pretty open. Salt Roll Patrol.
Well, it does in this pack. It's not going to come back to him in pack 3 because like the guy on his right has said, I'm the greedy 5-color player.
But he only gets one of those. The greedy guy on the right only gets one of those.
I just mean it doesn't make sense for Huey to dip his toe in pack 2 because he's not going to get it in pack 3.
So he went with the Kill Shot there. Not, a mediocre creature removal.
I feel like it's mediocre
in his type
given
of deck.
how aggressive his deck is lined up to be. But, I mean...
You can see Huey's like pounding his fist on the table. I don't know if that's a little bit of frustration that's being shown.
Hate Blade. Oh, and a Skull Hunter. Yeah, I mean, the sort of dorky warriors. Oh, is that Take Up Arms as well? Yeah,
that is a Take Up Arms.
Is interesting. Take Up Arms is pretty good.
Looks like he's favoring the Skull Hunter. Is it because it's black? Maybe he's doesn't want it.
I mean, Skull Hunter it's a solid 2-for-1. If he can pick up some 1-drops, I mean, what he really wants now that he's got multiple Skull Hunters is he wants like the Hate Blade from that pack to come back, or he wants Drowned Ancestors. He wants to be able to trigger raid on turn 2. If he can pick up some 1-drops and he can curve like any random 1-drop into turn 2 Skull Hunter into, I mean, Horde Chief is the good 3-drop at this point. That's the curve. That's how he wins with this pile.
So he's got some dream scenarios with the cards he's playing.
There's a 1-drop in
there is a 1-drop in there. There's also a Jeskai Student.
Yeah, the Student is better.
And there's a
Bloodfell Caves. He's not actually red at this point.
Do you think he's considering dipping into Mardu? It could give him some access to other aggressive cards when red.
Yeah, I would take, he goes Student.
Goes with the Student instead.
I mean, it's not a warrior. If it was a warrior, he'd be very happy with that pick. The fact that it's not a warrior means it's an honorary. It's a curve filler. Well, I mean, it still gets the +2/+1 if he picks up a Russia Battle, right?
Actually, it gets it gets +3/+2.
Even better.
All right, so this pack doesn't seem like it has much for him. Oh, there's an Alabaster Kieran.
Yeah, Alabaster Kieran's fine.
Solid card.
Creature.
2/3 in the air.
Again, not a warrior, but it's not like he actually has the warrior synergy.
It's not a warrior, but it knows how to battle.
He's just, I mean, I think what you do when these are the packs you hold, you just build the most sort of solid curve, aggressive, hit your drops, punish anybody who stumbles on mana, punish that greedy 5-color player for having all their lands come into play tapped, and just try to deal 20 before people can implement their higher power level strategies.
All right, so
there's a rush.
Ooh, there's a Russia Battle. That's exactly what Huey really wanted to see.
This has to be a rush, right?
There you go. It's right to the front. He was looking at some other cards, but I don't think he planned on actually playing any of those red ones. So Russia Battle, gives him a way to win with mediocre warriors.
Yep.
Takes the rush. So
like what he's doing.
Do you imagine that a lot of the decks at this table are at similar power level? I know you watched Patrick draft, and we're assuming, yeah, there's a hate blade there.
Is just what he wants to get past at this point. It's a one drop. It's a good one drop. Like you can play that one drop even when you don't have a bunch of Skull Hunters that want you to trigger raid on turn 2. It's just good because it can trade with the large creatures in the mid game thanks to the Death Touch ability. No, I mean, I think Huey's hoping that everybody's deck is bad.
Yes.
That just the power level of the packs is really low. That was not what we saw go through Pat Chapin's hands. Pat's power level was awesome. And it felt like he was passing reasonable things, too.
All right, so Kill Shot, Salt Row Patrol. Doesn't look like he's interested in a third bit of Revelation. Goes for the Kill Shot.
How impressed were you with Pat Chapin's poker face, too? When he got that second Mantis Rider, it doesn't even smile. I could not have held a smile back. The second Mantis Rider comes like 7th pick or whatever it was.
He's very good at holding the poker face and the stare down. Another warrior that William just picked up. So he has quite a few warriors. I'd say like 6, 7.
No, I mean, I give him good marks for drafting the seat. Good marks for drafting the seat. Still not in love with the power level of this deck, but I mean, it's not a catastrophe.
Right.
It's not a train wreck. He's got a good curve. You know, he's not going to 0-3 with this deck.
He has synergies. He has a synergy, which is Warriors plus Russia Battle.
Yeah, but I mean, this does not look like a deck you can 3-0 with either. This is like, I would normally say Huey's going to 2-1 with this deck. In this field, you know, he might only 1-2 with a deck like this.
All right, so here we get a better look at the actual deck, see how it has improved. Hasn't improved much, but at least it has a better curve.
Yeah.
It has some spells that he really wants to play. It has some that he probably would rather not be playing, but...
it's just missing the top end.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put, you know, give him a couple of good first picks, and now suddenly this is a real deck.
Now, do you think that a third color is still in the cards for Huey, or?
I mean, if he opens a bomb, he can still get into a third color. It's not easy. I mean, what he's hoping to open is, I would just be on Chief of the Edge, Chief of the Scale. I think those are...
So those are his dream scenarios, but if he opens, say...
I mean, I'm sure there's rares and mythics.
A Butcher or the Horde. Let's say he opens a Butcher or the Horde.
Fine, now I'm splashing red if I open Butcher.
All right, you know, just to see he does have options, so any rare that he opens that is black, white, and another color is good, so anything that's
I'm not sure there's a non-rare that's worth adding a color for.
Okay. But Chief of the Edge, Chief of the Scale, one of those, definitely, or even Raid the Spoils.
Oh, Raider Spoils would be awesome. So, curve's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can work with this.
That's what he was thinking. Like, this is exactly what I wanted.
Well,
not really. Are those Dazzling Ramparts in his deck right now?
They're in the back of the playables. I mean, I haven't been counting as he goes by, but I do the same kind of thing where it's like I have the curve of the cards I know I'm playing, and then I sort of in the back of this black and white section are the cards that I don't want to play, but can if I need to. All
right, so here's to opening something sweet. Let's see it, Huey. Chief of the Scales, Chief of the Edge.
Yeah, at 4-3, he really needs to 2-1. Hey, it'd be a lot easier if we can get a good open.
All right, Feat of Resistance, that's a solid card. Another Skull Hunter. There's a Russia Battle that could come back.
Mardu Charm, War Name Aspirant.
There you go. Is Mardu Charm good enough? No, not good enough, so it's going to be the Skull Hunter.
Stick to the plan. He needs 1-drops, too. Like, I take the Skull Hunter here, and I think would you second pick a Hate Blade in a weak pack? Like, I just want Hate Blades now.
Or, I mean, he could just have the plan of play a tapped 2-1 on 2.
Yeah, and then trigger the second one on turn 3.
Yeah,
I mean, you can play them without triggering the raid. They're just a lot better.
Yeah, I believe this is either his third or it could be his 4th Skull Hunter.
Feat of Resistance is reasonable here, but I think he's Skull Hunter.
All right, so he does Skull Hunter. Feet still in the pack. That's probably going to ensure that the rush comes back, but there weren't any other white cards other than the Feat of Resistance in there.
Right.
But there's only one deck that really wants that Russia Battle. All right, so...
I mean, there's a take-up arms out there somewhere. There could be somebody else with Warriors.
Yeah, there could be. That could also easily go on the greedy 5-color decks, too. There's a Russia Battle. Ooh, Dune Blast.
Is that worth splashing for? Well, might be.
We have a Russia Battle and a 1-drop that he would really like, which is a Disown Ancestor. But if you look at that Dune Blast and the Russia Battle...
You don't want to play against it either. Like, I think you take Dune Blast. Okay. I mean,
they're definitely on opposite sides of the spectrum as far as
you're not taking Disowned Ancestor over Dune Blast. Dune Blast is awesome. Now, the question is, does he play it? That is an open question.
It is a rare that it's splashable.
No, I know. I mean, I think he now would like to pick up some green duels so that he can kind of splash it for free. That's plan A at this point. It's possible that if he doesn't pick up any dual lands, he will sit down to build his deck and it's not worth it. It's 7 mana, it's adding a 3rd color to my deck, I'll just stick to my 2-color.
It's a valuable sideboard card. All right, so there is a Nomad Outpost, but it doesn't make green. It would be good in his black-white deck.
Yeah, I mean, he might play it just because.
And there's an Absent Ascendancy?
Interesting.
Is that another rare that he could splash a third color for?
I mean, yes.
Do you think he would?
I mean, the pack doesn't have much else in it for him, right?
Well, there's a tri-land that makes black and makes white, the Nomad Alpine.
But it's really it's a dual land. It's not a tri-land.
I know, it's a dual land for Hiri, but he goes with the Absent Ascendancy.
I like it. Yeah, no, I mean, he may want to gamble a little bit too, thinking about the fact that at 4-3, he really wants to put up the 2-1 or the 3-0, and that he may need to gamble a little bit to pull that off.
So just put a couple of powerful spells in your deck with not that much fixing, and
or
just
put a couple powerful spells in your pile right now, hoping that you can pick up some lands. Black-red land doesn't do it.
Oh, this pack has nothing for him.
It's not even like a random. Do you take Firehoof Cavalry? Is that the one drop that can trigger those guys? That's awful.
Just take
Bitter
another
Revelation
Bitter Revelation?
number 3?
Maybe he decides
Bitter Revelation number 3, sure.
Well, now he has 3 Bitter Revelations and a Doom Blast. Maybe there's a scenario where some matchups he wants to go long.
He can play an attrition game. It's not like he has removal, though.
He has kill shots. With an S on the end. He has 2.
Yeah.
2 kill shots. And a couple of Dazzling Ramparts.
Hilarious. Chief of the Scale.
There we go. Chief of the Scales.
Sign me up.
Was that also a
Mardu Ascendancy floating around.
That's
There's a
hate
blade.
blade. So that hate
but no,
blade
I think you Chief
probably
of the Scale.
won't come back. But Chief of the Scale, obviously Chief of the Scale is the pick here.
Awesome.
That's actually pretty late. So
yeah, it is.
Maybe he is the only one.
I mean, there could be somebody on his left.
Yeah.
Chief of the Scale. Yeah, that's great.
Easy addition.
His power level in Pack 3 is sky high.
Yeah. And that's probably one of the best 2-drops in the game. 2/3.
Oh yeah.
Being able to compete with morphs.
Yeah, it's a 2-drop that can block morphs, can attack through morphs. It's very powerful.
All right, so there's a throttle and not a lot else unless he wants to pick up Awaken the Bear for green. But throttle, he's pretty quick throttle.
Yep.
There's a white morph in there, War Behemoth, but
this pack's gone well. Now he just needs to get past like a Blossoming Sands.
There was a Blossoming Sands
Hollow.
earlier, but
if he picks up like Blossoming Sands, Jungle Hollow from here, then we're talking.
Not likely that those lands are going to go this late, but here's to hoping. Ponyback Brigade.
I mean, what else is he going to take out of the pack? Rakshasa Secret?
Well,
it's not like he's delving.
He's not delving, but it's still...
Lets him play this card advantage strategy.
It's still a 2-for-1.
Right.
2-for-1 right on the card.
Rakshasa Secret, you know, Skull Hunter into Rakshasa Secret, so he's playing a discard deck, and then Bitter Revelation to refill.
And then just Doom Blast and win with the one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you put the Ponyback Brigade.
Now, does that make the deck? Does he
No,
play that guy face down?
You deny it from somebody else, and wow, there's another Ponyback.
But the Blossoming Sands.
Oh, Blossoming Sands, easy, done. Blossoming Sands, sign me up.
Very happy to see that dual land.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Rakshasa Secret Ponyback pick is just like, I can kill this Ponyback, which is really good in somebody else's deck, if he's not going to play the Rakshasa Secret, and I don't think he was.
Yeah, and in a real pinch, if he's at a pinch for playables, he could play it as a...
Yeah, he's got playables.
Just an off-color morph that he can never flip up. Another Russia battle.
Mardu Charm came back.
Mardu Charm came back. So Mardu, maybe wide open.
Is not the right land. Not the right land.
No, that does not do anything.
Kill a Mardu Charm. I could take Rush number 2, but I don't think that's right.
Now, is he actually planning to kill these Mardu Charms, or is he going to play the Mardu Charm and play the Ponyback Brigade over the Absent guy? I mean, over the Absent.
No red lands?
I said it's said to see.
He didn't pick up a random red land.
He did not pick up a random red land, but he only has 1 green land.
Well, Doom Blast is better than any of those red cards. So no, I'm playing Doom Blast and maybe Absent Ascendancy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Off like 1 multi and maybe a forest.
Doesn't really fit with the strategy though, Doom Blast and Warriors. But
I mean, I'm lining that up. Even the wrong lands keep coming back.
Well, he gets a land.
Yeah.
It's interesting. If
somebody else wants that land, so put it in your pile.
You would think that someone on his right really wanted that land and would have just taken it because, added to the 5-color strategy. Or that person maybe abandoned it because the power level coming this direction got a lot higher.
Cavalry.
Firehoof Cavalry.
You can
it's
play
a 1-drop.
When you have red mana in your deck, I feel like it's the desperation. I can play this. 3 Skull Hunters, I would play that if I was Mardu. I don't think you want to play it without being able to activate the ability, though, just as vanilla 1/1.
Okay,
it's not even a warrior.
Let's give Jensen a grade for his seat.
Grade for the seat is, I mean, it's at least an A-. I'm not even sure where the minus is coming from. I just feel like...
Like it could have been just a little bit better, just room for improvement.
I'm not sure where, but Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he had a better deck available. I feel like, yeah, he drafted the best deck that was available in the seat, so.
All right, grade the deck.
C? I mean, maybe a C+.
Maybe grade on the curve because the table was a little.
Well, no, I mean, it could be that everybody at the table has sort of a C+, B- quality deck. That's possible. But yeah, I mean, I think that I honestly don't know whether he's going to play the Dune Blast and the Abzan Ascendancy. I think he's going to sit down to build. He's going to look at his curve. He's going to think about how much green mana he would have to smuggle into the deck. With one multi-land, it's definitely diluting the curve, the beatdown curve aspect of his deck if he puts those cards in, but it's upping the power level. So he's in kind of a tricky spot. Like his deck building, it's going to be a tricky deck build for him.
All right, well, William's going to be building his deck. He's going to be playing 3 rounds with this. I'm Rashad Miller. That's Randy Buehler. Thanks from the Tournament Center.